Welcome to another video. This video is about how it's just me talking about Blender and the Fab Marketplace, and this can be you can be Maya with the Fab Marketplace or Unity with the Fab Marketplace. Like, I just want to talk about how Fab Marketplace is enabling DCC tools outside Unreal Engine to quickly explore ideas of telling amazing stories, and just going through a project I made, put together under a short time, just to test out my theory, right? So let's get into the video. So this scene you're looking at right now is a scene I put together in Blender with Fab Marketplace assets. These are quixel Megascan assets. So one thing about the Fab Marketplace is that it is Epic's new marketplace that is a combination of Sketchfab, quixel Megascan assets and Unreal Engine assets. But in this particular marketplace, it's now open for everyone, and you are now giving access to the whole quixel Megascan library that they had for free. Now we already had it for free in Unreal Engine before, but now they're opening up for us to use it in any software of our choice. That is why you can see me bring it into Blender right now and use it to just quickly download and bring them into Blender. So the Fab Marketplace, just quickly go register and claim your Megascan assets, and you'll be able to use those assets for free on any DCC tools outside Unreal Engine. And those particular assets you claim will now be yours forever. But if you miss that window, which is closing by December, you will not have access to them for free anymore. Yeah, so everything you're seeing in this scene I put together for free, combined with the fact that Blender is a free 3D software, free and powerful 3D software you can use to tell amazing stories. And I just quickly put them together to put this scene together to see how they would look outside Unreal Engine, right? In any other DCC tool like Blender, right? So these are the assets, and I'm looking at them in solid shade mode. And yeah, so I quickly put these things together, and not only did I get the mountain and the rocks and these artifacts, I also got like a free robot, a droid from the marketplace for free. So it came with its own animations, and I quickly got the characters first, right? And I also got this character. So the only thing that's not from the marketplace is this soldier. The soldier, I got it from Actor Core Reallusions marketplace for characters and animation, and they gave us monthly free characters. This soldier is one of those monthly free characters I got. And yeah, so the gun was I got the gun from. So the droid has its own animations. I didn't animate it; it has its own animations, but I cut the animations in sequences in iClone. So I took the character to iClone, where I animated it to rhyme with the soldier's animation, which the motion of the soldiers I got them from Mixamo, free resource too. So talking about free resource across the board and how to bring them together to quickly tell stories, right, or tell ideas or previews or whatever you can use them for, right? And I quickly set up the scene in iClone. One of the things about iClone and Character Creator is that they have plugins that can enable you send out your characters or your work to any other DCC tool, Unreal Engine, Unity, Blender, amazing stuff, right? So you can quickly design, texture, and animate characters in between the two software from CC4 to iClone, and then export them out through any of the live links you have installed for the particular DCC tool of your choice, and then have them in that other environment. So I design my animations and character in Reallusion, and I render out in Blender, Unreal Engine, or Unity. So those are my workflows I like to use just to tell quick stories. I also love realistic animation. I'm not one for stylized much. I'm not good at making stylized characters, so I stick to tools that can make quick realistic characters for me, which is Reallusion, Character Creator, and iClone. I use Character Creator and iClone for the soldier, yeah, and for the droid is a free character I got from marketplace. One of the things I did was so when I put this head in the ground, it was just in the ground, and it didn't feel like it didn't connect with the environment, right? So I had to add this debris here to feel like the monument fell down or it's been there for a while, just to have that connection with the environment. Don't place it anywhere. you know. And the lighting I had there couldn't hide the fact that I just placed it there, so I had to use this debris to just make it look like it's been there for a while, or when it fell there, there was an impact. The ground plane is just a plane from Blender, but I got Megascan textures, Quixel Megascan texture, ground textures, and put it on it. Any part of the showcase, if you feel like you want to like, get like a deep dive, just let me know in the comments, and I will do my best to make a tutorial specifically for those particular sections that you feel like you want me to expand on, right? But this is just a quick breakdown, just trying to showcase how fab assets look outside Unreal Engine, right? Pixel Megascan specifically assets look outside Unreal Engine. So yeah, so these are just the scene. I reused this rock twice, and that's one thing I keep telling people: you don't have to download like 10 rocks for one environment. You can download one particular piece of asset and then just turn it around, and like you can see, this is just one rock. I just turned around, placed differently, rotated, made scaled up, scaled down, and just placed it around to give you the look like I had different kind of walls. This is the same rock. These three rocks are the same, and I just rotated them differently. This is also the same piece of artifact I just used, reused in 4 places, and I added lighting around. Put this in, and I extended the scene here by just duplicating the same ground and pushed it forward. And you can see the box around here. So one of the tricks I always use for cinematic scenes, which most people use for cinematic scenes, is please, like in Unreal Engine, people add volumetric fog to hide. Like, so I use volumetric fog to hide details I don't want necessarily, I don't care about. Like the edges of this wall, I don't want to see them, and I can use volumetric fog to hide it. Now, the thing is that like in Unreal Engine and Unity, those effects are called volumetric fog, but in Blender, it's called to create it, you have to make a box and then give it a principal volume shader, right? But in Unity and Unreal Engine, it's a volumetric fog. You're going to have to add through post processing into the scene or through your lights, right? But for in Blender, it's just a different place. You put the shader, you create a box, bounding box, and then you apply the shader, volumetric shader, through the world properties, your properties panel on it, and then you play around with the density till you get the kind of density you want, and yeah, and then the lights will react to it, right? So yeah, so that's just like the scene in a nutshell. Now let's zoom in and see what it looks like in texture mode. So let's go to material preview. So let's go to material preview mode and let's see what it looks like with the textures on. So these are the textures you can see in material preview mode. This is not the rendered mode, it's just material preview mode. And they don't look bad at all. Like, they really look cool. Yeah. And one thing about Blender, you can still, like, if you want, maybe change the color of this mountain, the textures, or brighten or darken them if that's what you want, if you know how to use the material, the shader nodes. Yeah. So now you can so one thing about the Blender is that you can play around with the colors of the material if that's what you want, and play with the shader node and make interesting changes to the texture. If there's anything you want to do, maybe make it lighter or darker, uh, give it a hue, a different saturation if that's what you want. But I just left it I left them as they were when I left them as it is when it came in. And how I brought them in from downloaded them from, so I left them as they are when I downloaded them from Megascan. So you can see the ground. The ground is just textures, Megascan textures, like just turn the simple plane into something amazing. And because it has like normal maps, it comes with normal maps, displacement maps, the ground automatically looks interesting. It's just a plane, right? So yeah, so this is the falling Roman head I was talking about. You see how I added this just to make it feel like it's been here for a while, or it crashed into the ground and created this debris. I can even change the color if I wanted to, the hue and transformation of this color of this particular object to blend more with the ground, so it feels like it doesn't stand out. But being that I was just experimenting and I made this under like a few hours, I didn't want to bother myself with that. I was just blown away by the fact that I can now bring Megascan assets into Blender and make amazing stuff in such a short time. So this ship, I got it from Fab, like I said earlier. I got it from Fab. The ship, I got it from Fab, like I said earlier. Really cool ship. I just got it. So I quickly scrabbled around for free assets I could use to make something quickly. And I found the ship interesting. And it kind of rhymed with the robots. So just basically, those are the objects in my scene, and this is how they look textured. And so now that we have all this added in the scene, how do we take this to the next level? Lighting and volumetric fog. So lighting and volumetric fog, right? How do you take it to the next level and make it look more cinematic? Because right now it just looks, lighting and volumetric fog will do the trick, right? So I have like 5 cameras in the scene, like different angles, and just so combination of the cameras with different angles of the camera, lighting, and then this principal volume shader. Those are my ways to take a simple scene like this from zero to cinematic um, in Blender. Yeah. So now let's head on to the rendered mode. So for rendering mode, I prefer EV render because I come from a game background where real time rendering is what I need. I don't have the patience for cycles render. Yeah, so and also my machine is really old. I'm dealing with an old RTX 2060 6 gig, so I have to be very economical with the results, how I get my results right. Uh, yeah, so those are the 2 reasons why I stay on EV. And even if I got a higher GPU at this rate, I think the way EV is heading, I might never. I don't think I ever want to use cycles for my own personal projects. Yeah. So yeah, that's that about everything I can talk about in the scene. If there's another question you have, please put in the comment and I will do my best to address it. Yeah. So now let's head to rendered mode and see what it looks like in full color. Like, so I'm going to just click. So the final render mode shader, final render mode is this one. Just click on it. So immediately the box will become black. So like I said, the box is containing the principled volume, right? So, and those are like the whole fog is contained inside where the box is limited. Like the limit of where the box is where the fog is, right? So I can't see anything from outside, right? I have to go inside the box to be able to see what's happening. So I'm going to zoom in, and so we can get a clearer view of what the lighting and what everything put together looks like. So this is what it looks like currently now with rendered mode. The issue, I know that the overlays are really making things horrible. So I'm going to turn off the overlays. So the overlays are like, if I click on anything, like for example, if I want to select this, the overlays are what allows me see when something is selected, right? But I have to turn it off for me to see the beauty of this thing like from afar. So I'm going to just turn it off by clicking this icon up here, overlays. You can use the shortcut Shift or Z, but I just click it, right? Now you get to begin to see, get an idea of what the scene looks like, right? You can see the story I'm trying to tell. So the ship, this mysterious ship in a dark place, right? Dystopian place. And if I want here to be a bit lighter, I can just reduce the density of the fog and you'll be able to see more details, right? But I think I like it like this dark and horrible and mysterious. Like I like the whole darkness and mysterious. We can play with the density and see what it looks like later. But now this is just what it looks like. This is where I left the settings. And yeah, so um the ship has landed, the door is open, the light from inside the ship is playing out red, so we don't know if it's danger or we should go in. It's the only light source in the scene, and in the game world we use this to direct players to anywhere you want them to go to, right? So if this was a game and you're in this dark, all these dark places, you wouldn't want to go there, right? You want to go to that ship because you feel like there's an answer there. The light looks man-made, so be it alien creature, something is in that light looks like is in something is in control of it, and you rather be in that ship than be outside here, right? If it's not your home, right? So those are the things. Lighting is part of storytelling for you in a scene, and you need to mind how you like kind of use them in a way to guide people towards an object in the scene or where you want them to go to or what you're trying to tell should just be your light to be able to do that for you as quickly as you can. Yeah, so yeah, this moonlight is awash everywhere, and the light from the ship is now the only thing disturbing that whole presence. So yeah, so I wanted those two, and I tried to make sure I use cyberpunk colors, which is red and blue or teal. Yeah, so That's about the lighting I use. So now we're going to zoom into them, like the scene itself. So now we've zoomed into the scene. We can see our soldier uh, aiming his gun at something, which is the robot in the distance. And the whole story is about this lone soldier who is trying to sneak up on this robot, either to hijack the ship or blow it up. We don't know because that's as far as my story I could tell. The story I created well ended, right? So yeah, so and the lights, natural lights, the moonlight and the lights, the artificial light are all awash with his body, just to give it that cinematic depth. And not only that too, so apart from the lighting, you also use like depth of field of your cameras to kind of like play a bit of trick just to keep the audience like focused on what you're trying to um tell them, right? So yeah, so I'm going to just go to my camera view. Right now we're looking at it as our user. We're in the user perspective, right? We're not in our camera mode, and I already placed my cameras around. But let me just navigate around, rotate around for you to see the scene before we go to camera mode. So now I rotated the camera so you can see the robot is walking up to the ship. The highlights are nice. I didn't get lighting properly everywhere because it was a bit the scene is dark and I needed to be able to separate the robots from the background. So I'm glad the light is lighting, itself, like because I just placed the lights and I hope that the objects will catch a glimpse. Now you can see where the fog is. So the fog is kind of hiding a lot of details we don't need. We know there's a ship here, robot is here, the soldier is here. The rest of the darkness we can't see what's there, and that's because of this volumetric fog, principal volume shader I used to hide all the many details. If I come to density now and I play around with the let's play around with the density. Let me reduce it to like 2 and enter. And you can see immediately there's more details revealed in the back, about more details are revealed because the density is 0.002. So yeah, depending on your taste, if you want the fogs to be more or less, you want to hide more details, you would decide. I don't know if 5 is okay. I think I just leave it as 4. Yeah, so where we can see some other details, mysterious details. So I leave it at 4 to just be able to see other details. Yeah. So let's go to the camera view and see and see like how it looks from my camera angles where I set them, right? First things first, I'm going to take my timeline back to 0, and then I'm going to go to my camera view. So this is the camera view I'm trying to tell. The camera view will start with rock in focus on the wall. The word new reality is in focus. So I'm trying to tell the story of a dystopian future. Everything has fallen. This world is broken. There's a spaceship in the distance or whatever that place is at first. You won't know what it is. And it's just an empty wall. New reality. New reality of what? Is it that are we talking about new? Well, with time, you're going to know what new reality means. Rebellion, resistance. So it starts with this wall, new reality. I was hoping that it conveys the meaning dawns on you as the short film goes, right? So yeah, new reality. Everything else is faded out. Lighting from here, lighting from everywhere. The ship light is awash on the in the background there. A bit of it is coming to the foreground. So then, a few seconds in, this you see the soldier walking. I will just scrub my timeline. I can't play the scene because because it's jerky and my computer is really old. So I'm just going to scrub through the timeline. Now that I scrub timeline, the soldier appears. You wonder why this guy is sneaking. Is he trying to sneak onto the ship? What? So immediately he sneaks in. A few seconds after, we're going to see a robot will walk out of the back behind the wall. Let me scrub timeline again. The robot has stopped to scan, sensing maybe has something, maybe didn't hear something. Then at this stage, we're going to switch to another camera, which is camera 2B. I label them so that I will know which one is which because each of the cameras will have different settings, depth of field settings, and I need to know which one I'm talking about. I'm going to have more than one camera in my scene. I decide to name them at that point because I can easily forget which is which. So yeah, and I'll scrub the timeline now to second camera. So the front camera now just shows, it gives us like a more view of the ship and the robot. This time we're now focusing. Before it was focused on the character, the ship was blurred. Now camera 2B is now focused on the robot. Character is blurred out, and the robot is scanning. You're wondering, has he seen this guy or not? Can he see through the wall? Can he not see through the wall? We don't know what's happening. And I was hoping to put on that robot like in the ship, on the ship doorway, but yeah, it's just an experiment, right? And mind you, these are all Megascan assets, right? These are all possible because of the Fab Marketplace. I'm able to put the story together because of the Fab Marketplace. Even the gun too is from the Fab Marketplace. Yeah. So like I said, the robot has stopped here. This camera two, scene two. I added a bit of a pan to the camera, animation to the camera, just to reveal a bit behind the wall. I'm going to scrub to the third camera, which is 2A. So the third camera, which is 2A, is a wide angle shot. I really don't like wide angle shots. A friend of mine kind of told me, it's like, I'm afraid of wide angle shots. So I took a risk with these wide angle shots. And I wanted you to get like a wider view of the destruction and what's behind, why the robot might not have seen him. You know, at first you think the robot is checking for him, but you see that the robot is just checking. I would have loved to add like burning car or something else here for the robot to just check, or maybe dead bodies on the ground. Robot to just be satisfied that there's nothing's happening, and maybe the noise is hard is from the fire or for something else, right? So, but because of I was just putting this scene together quickly. I just didn't have time to do all that. I was just wanting to demonstrate, and with what I could see, I'm really impressed with what the Megascan, how Megascan assets look outside Unreal Engine. I'm really impressed, right? And this leads me to want to believe that it's like, is Epic trying to save the whole industry? Because, right, yeah, this is like saving the whole industry because these are expensive assets, right? If you're into making realistic animation, you want realistic characters, or you're even doing VFX of environment design, like these assets are for free, high quality scanned assets for free. This is time saving assets for the little guy, like small studios like us that don't have all the resources in the world. This is really, really amazing. So wide angle shots, we get to see. If I had other assets, this is time. If you have any other asset, anything you want to show about the environment, maybe burning here, maybe more dead bodies to show that the robot probably had killed other soldiers before, and this one and it's just patrolling. That's why it doesn't feel like anybody's still alive. Yeah, so this is time to do more storytelling if you wanted to, if this was an actual film, which is not. I just made this quickly for this tutorial. Yeah, this is the time for you to add anything else if you wanted to add here with the wide angle shot to show like greater detail, tell more story with your environment without saying much. So now I'll scrub through again, and we're going to be hitting the fourth camera, right, which is a different angle too. For every, I'm trying to change angles for every of the scene, right? So this other camera, so now we have hit the fourth camera angle, which is like a top view angle. And I don't know if I should add an animation of it coming out from the wall. You know, I could add an animation. I choose not to add. You can choose to add animation or not, but you know, just play with your angles, play with what works, try an audience, show people, let them decide. Have an audience that will genuinely like care about sci-fi or what else you're trying to tell, and see how they react to it. And then yeah, so I use the debris here to show that this wall has been here for a while, or maybe it fell. You know, if I had more time, I would added more around it. But like I said, it was just a quick idea on the spot, and I was just thinking on my feet, so I didn't have time to. I didn't think I should take any further than I'm trying to make my point, right? So now this camera will show the robot trying to walk away. Now I had this view. I created this view because I really wanted us to see, get a glimpse of the soldier coming out from behind the wall, getting ready to attack the soldier, right? So when I scroll forward, we're going to see that. So then we get to see the soldier walking out from behind the wall, right? Before the camera angle switches for the final time as the robot walks away. And this scene is just showing like I wanted this scene to tell the story by itself. It was a beautiful mistake. So when I was making the angles, I don't have any story. Like I said, I didn't have any story. I was just thinking on my feet, and with time, because of the asset I had to play with, the scene unveiled itself to me. Right. So this robot walking away. This is like the future of humanity right now. And the monument falling behind that is blurred out is just like the past of humanity. The greatness of human being has fallen. I wanted to tell that story where monuments of presidents have fallen down, and this one soldier is standing between the possible future of humanity and possible past of humanity, right? And all that, I wanted this one picture to tell that story, And I also feel like in my director heart, I wanted to be able to explain what every shot means to me. You have to be able to explain why you do stuff. I'm always trying to make sure I'm able to articulate and explain what my shots mean and what I was thinking. Even if I was doing it impulsively, I tried to go back into that moment and say what was the feeling I was feeling when I put this thing in scene. And I realized that I really wanted this soldier to be the missing link in between the possible future and the possible past of humanity of this particular story I was trying to tell. So the final shot will be of him just walking into the scene and then firing his gun off. So I attached a particle emitter to the mouth of the gun and allowed them to just emit out round spherical objects, right? And I used motion blur to make it look like bullet streaks, right? That was the trick I used. There are other ways to make gunshot bullets, but I just chose this one because, like I said, this scene was just me flexing the muscles of Quixel Megascan in Blender, right? So I'm going to scrub through now so you can see what the final scene looks like. So yeah, so this is just the how far I came with this. Seeing this whole scene probably will be, let me see, 250 frames is 10 seconds of animation. So probably this will be like probably a minute or two. Let me see. I was able to put 5 camera angles. I don't know if it's too much or too little. Well, I've not rendered it out to see what it looks like. And in the render settings, I chose Chronos PBR. It could be AGX. So I prefer the Chronos. This it kind of like enhances my color for me. So I put on Chronos PBR to enhance the color I used. Yeah, and I don't know if it's working or not. So if you go to standard, it's going to be like this. So probably you're going to most people render it out like this, and then go to color correction, 3D color correction software, and then do their color correction. But I prefer it to have like basic color correction done here, which is I will just choose my Chronos PBR neutral, and I have this. So that's why it looks like this. I use the Chronos PBR neutral, and for the contrast, I left it none, but I prefer the medium contrast, so it's fine. Or you can just leave it at none. None is still okay. So not no much difference between the medium contrast and none. So yeah, this is just the scene. This is how I just put everything together. I'm really impressed with how Megascan is really like helping like enhance how people quickly put stories together. And yeah, I just wanted to just share this with you guys, and you guys go claim your Megascan assets and from the Fab Marketplace and begin to tell amazing stories, right? I can't wait to see what everyone does with this gift, right? I can't wait to see what everybody does with this gift. Yeah, so yeah, if you have any questions, please put in the comment below. Please like, subscribe, share, and I will bring more breakdowns to you. And yeah, until next time, peace.